Hi everyone, this is Mr. Lipchick. In our last discussion, we talked about the concept of scarcity and how there are limited quantities of the factors of production to produce the things that we need and want. And today we're going to take a deeper look at that through our discussion of production possibilities and production possibility curves. Okay, so what is the production possibilities curve? The key thing to remember is you need to go back to the concept of scarcity. Every economy has limits to the resources, land, labor, and capital, that it can commit to creating a particular good or service. Even a wealthy economy, such as the United States, has limited, although abundant, supplies of resources. Okay, so the production possibilities curve is a graph that shows alternative ways to use an economy's resources. And the one you see to the right is a classic example of wheat versus robots, assuming there is an economy, an imaginary economy, where you can either produce wheat or robots, or both in different quantities. The production possibilities would reflect themselves in the curve, as you see here, as pointed out on the graph and indicated in the matrix here. If you want to produce 16 bushels of wheat, you wouldn't have enough resources for robots. If you want to produce 15 bushels of wheat, you can make one robot, and so forth. Okay, and these ratios are stratified there on the graph for you. The axes on the graph can compare the categories of goods or specific goods that can be produced. So, this is a conceptual graph. Okay, in this case, it's an imaginary situation. And the line on the graph represents what is called the production possibilities frontier, which is a series of specific combinations of goods and services that can be produced within the economy. Okay, so this frontier, this line, represents the limits of what can be produced with the existing land, labor, and capital resources within this particular economy. In this imaginary economy, only two products are produced, robots and wheat. Because of scarce, that is limited resources, we will have to decide on how much wheat and how many robots that we need. If the economy mostly produces wheat, they will only produce a small number of robots and vice versa. And they must consider the opportunity costs of making both goods in their economic decisions. There is a notion of the law of increasing costs that goes along with the idea of the production possibilities curve. As production switches from one item to another, more and more resources are needed to increase production of the second item. Why? The result is an increasing opportunity cost for each additional item produced, and the factors of production available, this is the reason why, factors of production available to produce each additional item become less and less optimal, okay, as you use more and more. For example, in the robots versus wheat example, as we move production away from robots and towards wheat, we must use land that is less optimal and workers with no farming experience, creating lower yields. Because they are less productive, we must use more of the land and more of the workers to grow the wheat in the desired amounts. The opportunity cost, therefore, increases as we shift production from one good to another. Also, it is important to keep in mind that the production possibilities curve is not static. It's not existing in instant of time. It is constantly changing as the economy expands and contracts. And we'll talk in another lesson about the normal periods of expansion and contraction within the economy. Economies are subject to a business cycle in which they regularly go through periods of growth and contraction. Okay. Periodically, the production possibilities frontier can shift. In this example, we see the production possibilities curve for robots and pizzas, another economy, shifting to the right. Well, what could cause that? The production possibilities curve will shift to the right as the economy grows. This means the overall capacity of the economy to produce both products has increased. Immigration may increase a country's productive capacity as well as new technologies, causing economic growth. Okay, it can also, the production possibilities curve can shift to the left. Okay, and the economy shrinks, in this case, lowering the overall productive capacity. Possible reasons: an aging workforce, more and more people retiring, not enough people being born. Environmental problems that are creating a lack of an important resource. Decline of the education system. So, to review, no economy has unlimited resources. The production possibilities curve illustrates alternative ways in which an economy can use its resources. The axis on the production possibilities curve represents goods that an economy can produce. The line of the production possibilities curve is called the production possibilities frontier, represents specific combinations of goods that can be produced within the economy. And the law of increasing costs states that as an economy shifts production from one good to another, the opportunity cost of producing those goods increases. And the production possibility curve will shift to the right when the economy grows. And the production possibility curve shifts to the left when the economy contracts. That is it for our presentation. Thank you for viewing, and I look forward to seeing you in the live lesson.